Hi, everybody. Welcome to my video on how to improve upper arms for women over 60. Welcome, everybody. This is a hot topic. I just did a podcast on this very issue, and it went viral for a multitude of reasons. But what this video is going to be about is how can we make improvements in the upper arms, especially with the hanging skin and the crepiness of the skin in this area and the lack of muscle mass. So this video, by the time we're done, you're going to have fixes or hacks, I'll call them, for those three issues. And your arms, if you follow my advice, are going to look better. All right. So let me dive right in. The first thing that happens that makes the arms not look the greatest for women over 60 is a loss of muscle mass. Muscle mass all over, but in the arms where, you can cover up the rest of your body, but if you live in a warm weather climate, you got to show your arms at some point. And every woman I've ever worked with over 40, honestly, always complains about like some of this saggy skin. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to make it go away necessarily. There's factors that have to do with the last 60 years of your life that are in play here. But I'm going to tell you that if you follow what I'm going to give you in this video, they will look better. I work with a lot of women over 60 that have made their arms look better and they feel great about them, even though they might not be the same arms they had when they were 20 or 30. All right. That said, let's address the first issue, muscle mass. All right. The number one thing that women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s tend to not have enough of is the muscle mass. Now, if you don't have mass in there and the skin has been covering muscle for the first 40 years of your life, or you've lost weight and there was fat in there too, you're going to have skin that's going to hang more so than a woman who still has the muscle mass or didn't have the weight loss. But we can definitely add more volume to your arm so the skin has something more to hang on to. All right. I want to note, I'm not saying this is going to fix the skin. I'm going to address that as the third part of what I'm going to recommend in this video. But every woman I've worked with, that if we can make a little more muscle in the biceps and the triceps, they feel better and that skin doesn't look so obvious when you're moving your arm. Now, the number one problem when people try to do, muscle mass for their arms and do the type of lifting is they don't use enough weight. And so they're not making headway and they say, oh, this doesn't work. The second thing is that most women and men, for this matter, don't understand that when you're actually doing the lifting, you're not building the muscle. You are ripping muscle fibers. The fibers are loaded with enough reps and not enough weight so that there's little microscopic tears in the matrix. And it's the next 24 hours to 36 hours where your body then rebuilds and repairs that matrix and then makes a bit more of it. And that's how you grow muscle. All right. So the actual lifting is the breaking of the fibers, and you have to have enough load to break those fibers in order for that to happen. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that you're going to get more breaking of the load of the muscles, not on the contraction part, but on the lengthening part, where your muscles are fighting to not let the weight fall down. And then, when you put tension under something that's lengthening, there's going to be a lot more popping of the fibers. Again, not a total, break, but like little microscopic ones. And that's what you want so that over the next 24, 36 hours, and then progressively over time, you're building more muscle. So I'm going to show you 2 exercises and how to focus in on the lengthening part, which is called eccentric contractions. Okay. So now the first thing is you've got to use a weight that is almost too heavy for you to lift. All right. So I've got a weight right here to demonstrate. And so you're going to see what it looks like. And what we're going to do is called a concentration curl. All right. So you pick up your weight, you're sitting in a chair or on a bench like I am. You bring your elbow onto the inside of your thigh for stability. And now watch this. Like this weight's almost too heavy for me to lift. I can get it up. But like if I'm going to do 12 reps, which is what I'm recommending you do, I'm not going to get all 12 reps. So this is how it works. All right. You're going to do a 2 count up and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 count down. All right. 2 count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now you should have a weight that's heavy enough that by the time you're getting to 3 or 4 reps, it's starting to get questionable as to whether or not you can get the weight up. So you can use your other hand to assist this to get it up, But now you're going to really milk that down, maybe even taking it to 8 counts, 6 to 8 counts down. All right, you can't get it up anymore. Use your other hand, assist, and now really fight that lengthening phase, because this is where those muscle fibers are actually getting damaged or breaking. All right, assistance on the lift, and then let that happen on the down so that you are going to get the growth you're after in the next 24 to 36 hours. I'm going to do one more. So you're using the hand, your opposite hand to assist. And if you've ever been in the gyms, you see other people working out as pairs where one person's assisting the other person for the lift. They might be doing what I'm talking about. All right, so now this is eccentric contractions, a weight that's too heavy for you to get 12 reps at. And then you use your other hand to assist, and you slow down that lengthening phase. All right, the exercise I just demonstrated is for the bicep. We also want to hit the tricep. All right, so now I'm going to take a weight that, again, is too heavy for me. I'm going to do this laying down on the bench. You can also do this on the floor, laying flat. You bring the weight right over your shoulder. All right, lowering it down. This is the lengthening phase. You keep the elbow right over the shoulder. You don't want this to move back and forth. All right, now to get it up, like I can get it up, but that was challenging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, I can get it up. Oh, that was really challenging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here comes the assist. I'm going to take my other hand. I'm going to help this to get it up. And now I'm going to keep doing these lengthening reps. 4, 5, and 6. Again, assistance on the up. And then as slow as possible, 6 to 8 counts on the down. All right, I'm going to demonstrate this one more time. Press up, minimal assistance, but you don't want to drop this on your head. So use the assistance. I'll do one more that you need. Like I'm struggling right there, then I can just give that little extra. But again, it's not the contracting on the way up. Like that's important, yes, but really for the muscle growth. And we want to fill the muscle up so that the skin has something to hang on to. That muscle breakdown and then the subsequent growth is going to come from the lengthening phase. And in the exercise I showed you, if I was like this, it would be this part. But for my women, if you're laying down on the bench, it's comparable to doing this if you're sitting up. But I don't like to do this sitting up because now there's a lot of contracting in the upper neck area. And my women over 60 have a lot of tension in this area. So when you're laying down the bench, your arm is here and you're not engaging these trap muscles and the neck and shoulder muscles in a way that might cause pain, right? So you're going to do 12 repetitions with a weight that's too heavy for you to do all 12, and you're going to assist on the way up. You're going to assist on the way up, and then slow, 6 to 8 counts on the eccentric contraction. You're going to start with one set of each one of those 3 times a week. After 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how your body's responding to that, if you're not sore, if you don't have joint pain, you'll go to 2 sets 3 times a week, every other day. Don't do these 2 days in a row because you need that recovery time in between for the muscles to actually repair and grow. And then by the time you get to 2 sets, you're able to do that consistently, then you can go up to 3 and even 4 sets. 4 sets max, 3 times a week, non-consecutive days with a weight that's too heavy for you to get the reps, and that you're focusing in on the lengthening phase. That is going to get you the loading that you need to actually put some muscle in the skin that, most women don't like when they're over 60. Does everyone understand? Because that is so critical. I watch so many videos and influencers and podcasts. They're getting the right information, but they're just missing out a couple subtle points. And I think the one subtle point right here, maybe not so subtle, is that it's the eccentric, the lengthening phase, and you got to use a weight that you can't lift on your own for all those reps. All right, so now that's going to address one of the 3 issues about how to make the arms look better when you're a woman over 60. We need to add more muscle. They will look better, even if you have the hanging skin and even if you have the crepey skin, because that's the next thing I'm going to address. So we're going to add muscle there. But another problem that women complain about is the crepiness, this kind of, thin and, the texture of it looks like cellophane, and crinkly. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you are doing the muscle work I just showed you, that is going to help the skin in that area. Why? Because you're bringing more blood flow into that area, and it's almost like an internal massage. All right. So you're getting more of the nutrition into the area from the blood, and you're pulling out more of the toxins and the metabolic waste. And that is partly what makes that skin, break down. It's like almost like if you had a sewage system that was clogged and, not flowing, what would that be like? Our skin is one of our major organs of detoxification. And if we're not getting that circulation and the blood flow, the nutrition in, and the clearing out the waste products out, then that's going to lead to cellular degeneration over time. And, when you're 60 plus, you've been on the planet for quite a while, right? So doing the exercise that I just showed you, the muscle building, is going to help from a muscle building perspective, but it's also going to help, the skin in that area, all right, from that crepey perspective. All right, but what else can you do for that crepey skin? All right, you have to eat protein in order for your whole body to, be able to have the raw products it needs to rebuild itself. Protein is like wood in a house. You can have the nails, you can have the, drywall, whatever, but you need the frame, all right, to actually scaffold a house. Protein is the frame, all right, of your skin and every cell in your body. So what I tell my women over 60, and a lot of them say they struggle with this, but you got to do it. You got to target 20 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. You can see it on labels. You can look it up on Google, 20 to 30 grams of protein, because that's going to help to rebuild the entire skin matrix, not to mention your muscles and every other cell in your body. All right, so you need to eat the protein. Second, phytoestrogens, all right? By the time you're 60 and a female, I don't think anybody still has their menstrual cycle. Our estrogen is tanked, and estrogen helps to keep skin, hair, and nails, young and youthful. So enter phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are naturally occurring phytochemicals that are in foods that we eat that can now lock onto the receptors that are other type of estrogen that we had that we don't have anymore. And now that we're in postmenopause, they lock onto those same receptor sites, and they can help to create, more youthful skin. All right. So what are foods high in phytoestrogens? Soy is a big one. So soy, tofu, soybeans themselves, edamame, anything made from a soybean or the soybean itself. 4 ounces of soy has 25 milligrams of phytoestrogens. The target for a postmenopausal female is about 100 milligrams a day. So soy is a good supply of that. Pomegranate, yams, and avocados. And there's many more as well, but those are fairly high. And if you're taking, you're having one of those in each meal, you're pretty much going to hit that 100 milligrams a day of the phytoestrogens. And that is going to help the skin, crepey skin, not just on your arms, that happens to be what I'm talking about in this video, but everywhere. Do your muscle work is number one, to fill that in with some muscle so that the skin and the arm looks better. Eat your protein. Do your exercise to keep circulation going. Try to focus in on eating daily phytoestrogen foods. Crepey skin also from the outside. You can use some creams that contain hyaluronic acid, HA for short, peptides like collagen peptides, copper peptides, and retinols. So there's tons of creams out that have these. Putting them on topically, it's not your best solution because, you're really building from the inside out. But, putting that on the outside, especially the hyaluronic acid, is going to bring water into that area. And so it puffs the skin out and it makes it look less crepey. So these topical creams, can be an aid. Now, talking about hydration, the next thing that you can do for the crepey skin is make sure you're hydrated. If you get dehydrated and you're over 60, it's like the lines in your face become prominent because the skin is like a prune. You take a plum or any fruit that we dehydrate, a raisin is all crinkly because it's been dehydrated. All right. So that's the same thing with our bodies. So if you want to improve your crepey skin, make sure you're drinking at least 60 ounces of liquid a day. There's formulas for this. I think it varies. I don't think we really have that exact, but I tell all my over 60 women as a minimum, try to get 60 ounces a day to stay well hydrated throughout your body. That's going to help the arm skin definitely, as well as the rest of your body. So now we've addressed muscle. How do you actually get gains in the muscle so there's something for that skin to hold on to and the arm looks better? How do you improve the crepey skin, how it looks on the outside? And now the third issue and the big issue for most women over 60, especially if they've successfully lost weight, yay, good for you, is this hanging skin that occurs. It can happen whether you've lost weight or not, just because of the loss of texture to the skin matrix, the loss of muscle. So what can we do about that? I've already said, you fill it in with some muscle. Is it going to make it go away? Is it going to make it completely not hang? No. Is it going to improve it? Absolutely. Nobody is going to convince me. I'm 61 years old myself. I have worked with men and women both for literally 4 decades, and everybody I've helped to build muscle in their arms, women especially over 60, feels that theirs look better whether they still have that skin hanging to a certain degree or not. So can you improve it by adding muscle? Absolutely. All right. Now, there are also some procedures you could do that are more conservative than the ultimate one, which I'll talk about in a second. You can do laser, you can do infrared, you can do ultrasound. These are vibrational, treatments that you go into an office, a clinician for. And what those things do is they kind of like vibrate the skin and it makes the skin matrix like tighten up. Is it permanent? No. But if you do it enough, can you see some improvement over a period of time? Yes. So that might be a way for you to kind of try to work on a little bit of improvement on that hanging skin by just tightening up the skin itself. All right. Through those, vibrational technologies. And then finally, and this is like ultimately, if you've got really bad hanging skin, and even though you do the other things I just all suggested in terms of the build the muscle and what you can do with what you're ingesting, and the topical creams and all that, you still have this hanging. You've done the other, vibrational therapies, brachioplasty. That is when they cut and then they take some skin out and then they pull it and then they re-sew it. All right. That is a very invasive procedure. It does leave a scar. Most of the women I work with, that's not one that they want to do. They might do something for belly because then they can wear shirts and it's covered over. But with the arms, they're showing all the time. But I'm going to tell you that even though that might be the end all be all for making this hanging skin go away, the other things that we've covered in this video are going to make it look better. And isn't that the goal? Can you make it look better enough that you feel good about it? I think so. I know so because I've worked with women to help them do that. All right, everybody. So this is my video on how can you improve and fix, the upper arms when you're over 60 as a female. And now here's my free gift to you for watching this video. You can now download my guide, a hand, PDF that you're going to get, and you can keep it and hang it on your refrigerator and refer to it so you remember what we just covered, easily. Share it with your friends. So that is my gift for you for watching. If you feel like you've gained some interesting and valuable information, then I really do welcome you to go to my platform, my subscription website. It's called yoursecond50.life, yoursecond50.life. And it is literally a digital resource library of all topics: exercise, nutrition, psychology, behavioral medicine, for 50 and really 60, 70, 80 and beyond. And it's all information specific to our demographic, because what we need to do now as we're aging, let's face it, this aging is not for the faint of heart. And you need to have specific information for as you're aging. It's not the same as when we were younger. All right. So please take a look at that. I invite you to subscribe. It also includes 2 live coaching sessions per month with me. So you have a virtual library of information to use at your leisure and the coaching hands-on. It's a win-win-win. Thank you, everybody, for being with me on this video. And we got this. We got this. We can improve things. We can age with grace and look and feel our best. We got this. Give me the high five.